Hello and welcome back to video, I think number 6 on bipolar for Mental Health Awareness Week UK 2019. I am Frankie, welcome to my channel, welcome to this playlist. I'm 23 years old, I have bipolar. Let's get on with the show. This is going to be a Q&A. These are questions that have been asked multiple times on my Instagram that I have answered, and I'm going to read them out as a Q&A now, here. So there will be a lot of looking at my phone because it's all things that I've done before that I'm basically just going to read out. But please don't feel shortchanged. I've still created a lot of content and have still made an effort to do this video. So please don't be like, oh, she's crapped out to just read off her phone. So I've done a few Q&As at various times. Okay, someone said hardest parts about it. And common misconceptions. Said hardest part I'd say is psychosis, but not everyone with bipolar has psychosis. And the common misconception is the term psychotic people use when they mean psychopathic. Psychosis is the term for when someone has a loss of touch with reality, characterised by hallucinations, seeing, hearing, smelling, feeling, tasting things that others can't, or that are not truly there. And delusions, abnormal thinking, paranoia, and I call them in my psychosis video, they're basically like thought hallucinations. I said another hard part are the extreme episodes themselves, so full mania and full depressive episodes. Mania for me begins great because I have so much energy. I tend to write lots and lots, I become really creative, I drink loads of tea, I'm having a great time. But then it escalates and my brain skyrockets and I become really weird and angry and I don't sleep and overly sensitive and reactive to everything. And I tend to not remember much manic episodes as well, so that's kind of scary. And I'll upset people I love, but then I won't remember, so I don't know how to apologise. And yeah, when they're upset with me and I can't remember why I've done it, it's quite challenging. I also said other misconceptions include bipolar means someone's mood changes a lot in the day. 1 minute happy, the next I said. That's not how it works. Bipolar manic episodes consist of someone being very happy and hyper. In actual fact, it's a spectrum of energy and mood, so you can be manic and unhappy, and you can be depressed with lots of energy, and that's more of a mixed episode, or paranoia. Schizophrenia tends to be high energy, low mood. And I made a graph to explain that, which I then shared in a little infographic thing on my Instagram. My Instagram handle is right down there. Please do follow me, ask any questions there because I'll respond to them quicker than comments on here, but also feel free to leave comments here. Another misconception, whenever someone with bipolar is upset or angry with you, it's because they're mentally ill. No, believe it or not, people with bipolar still have normal feelings, so if you piss them off, you've pissed them off. Don't blame it on bipolar. Someone said, not really a question, but what do you want people to know most about bipolar and living with it? And I said 2 points because I'm a chronic over-explainer. 1, it doesn't switch off. Even if I'm not in an active episode, I'm still dealing with anxiety, insomnia, mood regulation, medication, baseline symptoms. I still have bipolar and it still affects my life even when I'm not in a mood episode itself. And number 2, I'm not made of glass. If you think you and your words can single-handedly cause an episode and therefore hold back on telling me something, you have a massively inflated sense of self-worth. Please don't hide things from me just because I have bipolar. Please don't hide bad things because you think it'll make me depressed. Please don't hide things. Someone says, what technically is bipolar? I just made a video about this, so I'm not going to say it now, but bipolar is a severe mental illness. It is a lifelong mood disorder that is characterised as psychotic. It is made up of episodes which are changes of energy and mood state, and yeah, I'm not going to say any more on that because I've made a whole video about it. Someone said, are you on medication for bipolar? I'm on Latuda. I said yes, I'm on lithium and quetiapine extended release, and then I have, if I need it, I have PRN, which means Perinata, which means as needed, diazepam, lorazepam, and zopiclone for when I really need them, but not very often. And I also have a medication called procyclidine because combined together the lithium and the quetiapine give me horrible restless legs. So the procyclidine supposedly helps that. I'm not sure if it does. Someone said, how did you end up being diagnosed? That will be in my bipolar story, which will be the next video that I put up, but I will give you a brief rundown. When I was with CAMS age 17, I was initially diagnosed with cyclothymia, which is like bipolar but with less extreme mood swings. 50% of people diagnosed with cyclothymia go on to be diagnosed with bipolar, so it gets more extreme and they end up with a diagnosis of bipolar. In July 2016, I was admitted to a psychiatric hospital due to a manic episode and psychosis, and that's when I was diagnosed with bipolar and psychosis. Someone said, did the stereotypes annoy you? And I said yes. And the worst one is, and I said this in a different video, having bipolar is like waking up and not knowing if Eel or Tigger is behind the steering wheel. No, it's fucking not. For the vast majority of cases, mood swings happen over a period of time, like a few weeks or months, not overnight, and you wake up with a new mood. And also, that is really romanticising mental illness. It's not a cutesy Disneyland hotel. It's a severe mental illness. Yeah, then I answered again some of the other stereotypes that annoy you. People with bipolar are off the walls, uncontrollable and dangerous. In reality, bipolar does not cause violence, and some people achieve remission after their first episode and never have another episode for years or forever. They achieve remission and they never have another episode, which must be a nice life. People with bipolar are really sensitive. Maybe you've just pissed them off. Take responsibility for your own words, Janet. And another one is, it's just mood swings. There's far more to bipolar than just mood swings, although they're the key symptom. Fatigue, insomnia, anxiety, increased risk of various cancers, blood pressure issues, migraines, and the stigma, and increased risk of suicide, to name just a few, to debunk the stereotype and myth that it's just mood swings. It's not. Does bipolar run in families? Good question. There's a genetic element to bipolar. They have not isolated a gene yet, but yes, there is a genetic link. It can travel through families, but I'm the first person in my family to be diagnosed with it, but me and my mum suspect maybe some of her grandparents and great-grandparents might have been on the bipolar spectrum. Someone said, not a question, but maybe a bit about the experience of switching trusts, CPNs and differences in care. I said, wow, this is a blog post in itself. So, here you go. CAMS, then up to adult services through the home treatment team, CMHT, inpatient, early intervention in psychosis, back to CAMS, early intervention team with Forward Thinking Birmingham, and then lots of crisis teams and shorter admissions. So I won't read them all out, but I have had 4 psychiatrists across 5 different teams, 2 psychologists across 2 different teams, 4 CPNs across 3 teams, and 1 mental health nurse from 1 team. They have been my named workers over the years. So yeah, I've been through a lot of different teams for various reasons at various different times, and different named workers who have different jobs at different times. Someone said, what is bipolar disorder? My friend might possibly have it. I have already said that 1,001 times, so I'm not going to answer that one. How does it make you feel on good days and on bad days? When I'm stable, I feel okay. I used to constantly worry about any strong emotions, and my mum used to threaten to ring crisis team whenever we argued, which really didn't help. I take meds for every day. They make me groggy and give me restless legs. Bipolar comes with a slew of other symptoms, even when well controlled. Mine include anxiety, panic attacks, insomnia, my sleep's been terrible for years, irritability and rage, low self-esteem and poor self-image. And this year's theme for Mental Health Awareness Week is body image, so that's a thing. In a manic episode, on a bad day, I have loads of energy and I feel no need to sleep. I talk a million miles an hour. I get really angry really easily, which leads to paranoia. I get hallucinations, delusions. I go off walking by myself and make dangerous decisions. How do I feel? Amazing, invincible. Then when I hit the peak of psychosis, terrified. Mixed episodes are horrible. I had one in October, November last year that led to a depressive episode. And on a bad day with a depressive episode, and I said, hello, currently taking time off uni for one. I feel lonely, tired, hopeless, apathetic. I worry about things I never knew I could worry about. I self-harm, I don't go out, I'm a mess. So that's a good day versus a bad day. Mania, mixed, depressive. Someone said, how does it classify as a mood disorder in comparison to a personality disorder? Buckle up, kids, this one's a long one. The actual distinction of something being a personality disorder versus a mood disorder is something I don't know. I am not a medical professional. However, I can answer with my understanding of bipolar disorder versus BPD or EUPD, emotionally unstable personality disorder, as it is now more correctly termed. Two main ways I know of, the origins and the classification. So the two classifications are neurosis and psychosis, which I've explained before in a different video, I believe in the first about bipolar video. BPD is under the neurosis category and bipolar is under the psychosis category. So with BPD you are still in touch with reality, whereas with bipolar you experience a loss of touch with reality. And number two, if you've heard of nurture versus nature, well, whilst both conditions have a mixture of causes, BPD has a more nurture causation, while bipolar sits further to the nature category. Bipolar has more chemical involvement and is treated most effectively with medication. BPD is generally trauma-based, anything from trauma to an unstable childhood, and is treated more with therapy, DBT specifically, dialectic behaviour therapy, which is a very intense kind of therapy, offered in I think 2 personality disorder units in the UK, and then some places do short courses of outpatient therapy. Interestingly, the name of borderline personality disorder came because there was a debate whether BPD was neurotic or psychotic. Therefore, they felt it was on the borderline between the two. It's now classified fully as neurosis though, so individuals remain in touch with the real world. The newer and generally more descriptive name of emotionally unstable, EUPD, came about because it's now classified as neurosis, because although individuals experience fast mood swings and strong feelings, anxiety, depression, and extreme emotional reactions, they have not lost touch with reality in a psychotic manner. They are emotionally unstable, not psychotic. That is all. Okay, let me triple check. No more questions? Amazing. So that's all for the Q&A video. The next video will be a really long one. It will be my story with bipolar, which will probably sort of... Hey, 800 posts on Instagram. Sorry. That video will be really long. It will be sort of like leading up to, well, all about like my entire life with bipolar, leading up to diagnosis, how I was diagnosed, and like how it affects me now. So I anticipate that one will probably be a really long one, like about half an hour. But thank you for watching this video. Please give it a like and share it. I do not get any money from YouTube. I don't have ads on my videos. I do not have monetization on my channel. The only way that people are going to see these videos is if you share them, or if you help along with the YouTube algorithm by commenting and liking it. Please, please, please. I don't do these videos for fame and glory. I do them so that people can gain awareness, and I think particularly something like this, which has just been like an FAQ, can be particularly helpful, but also share all of the videos so that everybody can learn about bipolar, break down stigmas and promote a healthy environment for talking about mental health. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I've been Frankie. See you in the next video. Goodbye.